Welcome back, a space where we discuss feats, scaling and cosmology. Be sure to like, share and subscribe. Today we'll discuss how to identify an agenda scalar.
Out Alien X at multiversal level. So the whole Alien X is universal at best argument doesn't really make sense now. The Chronosapien time bomb was strong enough to destroy the entire multiverse, and when Clockwork reversed it, he didn't just use some random spell, he directly affected that same level, the whole multiverse. So calling it just hacks or spellcaster logic doesn't make sense, because the scale is already clear from what the bomb was doing. It could destroy the entire multiverse, and Clockwork reversed it. That means he's interacting at that same level.
So you ignore feat execution to form a half-truth that Clockwork has mechanical hacks greater than his physical stats. That's not honesty. The difference between a simpler truth and a meta-truth is that a simpler truth is true but only applies under certain conditions. Not acknowledging that technicality means you manipulate the audience into looking competent without authenticity. The signs of agenda scaling.
And even the art style of the show, something no proceeds to give zero proofs why. Changing the art style isn't just a small visual change. In Ben 10, the art style is literally how the whole world is shown, so if someone changes it, they're changing the reality itself. That's not something different, that's directly affecting how the entire universe works and looks at the same time.
Okay, then prove the change is beyond just visual. Show me this power is beyond just aesthetics, that he's affecting in-universe narrative structure, metafictional influences. Characters like Featherine can change the plot because she see lower cosmology as stories in a book, she see lower multiversal spaces as pieces on a game board. Proclaiming the art style change as plot manipulation lacks in universe metaphysics, the structural integrity to justify its function. How do you know this is plot manipulation and not just gag? That means you don't value pre-necessary conditions. Prove that he's altering how the universe works, proves he's altering the laws of reality, and not just aesthetics.
Disabled or something, but saying the Quantumania don't have multiversal feats is just a big ignorance fallacy, because I literally mentioned that they created the Annihilarg, which creates and destroys the entire universe. Also saying they don't see lower reality as fiction is irrelevant, and my scale never even uses that idea in the first place.
Okay, so the Quantumania don't have any multiversal feats. When I asked for the truth you flinched and resorted to arguing fallacies, but this is your king right. If it's a fallacy for me to ask for feats, then you're not here for power, you're not here for scaling, not concentrated on specific details of inertia. The laws of inertia that an object of matter will remain in a state of stasis until a force is applied to it. If I pick up a cup of water, that implies I'm stronger than insects because an insect can't move a cup of water worth of matter and space. Okay, so what structures of matter and space is the Quantumania affecting? That your definition of truth is manipulated by the word of mouth. You don't value ontological properties. If Featherine were to fight Alien X, she'd have geometric supremacy over him. Viewing Alien X as two-dimensional fiction, she'd rewrite the concept of Alien X to mean sky or clouds. Now every cloud in the sky is a T-posing model of Alien X, and the fight would be over.
So bringing it up doesn't debunk anything. And calling them artificial doesn't change anything either. My scale is based on what they can do, not how they were made. And saying they don't have dimensional perception doesn't make sense, because they directly interact with things like the Annihilarg, which affects the entire universe itself.
This is why they're artificial fifth-dimensional beings.
Dumbass is literally making his own headcanons and thinking he is debunking my scale. Assuming that because they stood inside the ship, they needed it to survive, but that's just your assumption, not something actually stated. Being inside a protected area doesn't automatically mean they're weaker than the blast. It just means they're using their own technology in a controlled way, and they use the ship and the Annihilarg as part of the process of creating/destroying a universe.
Characters like Lifebringer Galactus can create force fields without the use of technology. Unlike the Quantumania need items and technology. What Galactus can do from thought. Again, you're not here for power, you're an agenda scalar.
The barrier is clearly tied to the device and the ship, not a statement about their acute durability, and using protection doesn't mean being weaker. By that logic, any advanced being using safety measures would automatically scale below.
Doesn't weaponize geometric dimensions. Gwen would have been two-dimensional, Kevin would have been two-dimensional, Grandpa Max would have been two-dimensional in DC's Heaven's Ladder. Single-issue Quantum Zealot were true higher-dimensional beings because they saw lower mortals as fiction. Where is this for Alien X and the Nalogans? They speak of it but never show.
Saying it doesn't count unless it looks like DC, but Ben 10 doesn't have to copy DC for it to be valid. First, Saying it doesn't properly show higher dimensions doesn't mean anything. In my scale, the verse already has dimensions, timelines, and the time stream which holds everything together. Just because it's explained instead of shown like flat 2D characters doesn't make it invalid. Second, a character doesn't need to turn dimensions into attacks to scale to them. Toilet. And about your part saying true scalar versus agenda scalar. That's called a high-tier power scalar versus a low-tier power scalar who fall on his head as a kid and doesn't know to do research nor properly have a detailed knowledge on a verse. I know this fabrical head is going to make another video about me and again make a fool of himself, but I wouldn't be responding to his video because I don't want to waste my time dealing with a low tier who doesn't even know how to use his brain properly.
Do you want to see how the media secretly shapes your opinions? If so, watch this clip.
It all depends how the media portrays us. Remember going back when we come back from Iraq, we landed in Teesside and we had groups of people that weren't happy that we were there, and they were British people because the media portrayed us as killers, as murderers. Flipping the coin, when we come back from Afghan, we were portrayed as heroes, so the whole country rejoiced to go, "Oh, save our heroes."
When your definition of truth is manipulated by the word of mouth, that pattern of behavior could give strength to media-based control over the masses like stigma. It's not just power scaling, it's human psychology. Be sure to like, share and subscribe.
It's done.
What are you saying? You just said it was done. What does that mean?
Your energy is decreasing with every blow. You're not even a challenge to me anymore. It wouldn't be fair for me to keep fighting you. I'm satisfied now. Your pride has been torn to shreds. You've challenged and lost to a fighter who is superior to you. And to make it worse, he was just a monkey, right?